Yo, welcome to another episode of the Culture Controversial Podcast. I'm your host, 87 with my co-host, Ty H.
Good evening, good people.
And we got our special guest in the building, Coach Ralph. I said Ralph. Ralph ain't here yet. I'm sorry. Coach Harris. Let me apologize. Coach
What's
Harris
going
in the
on?
building. Ralph will be in momentarily. Give him a moment. I appreciate you for coming through. We here to do some coaches talking, playoffs, talk a little football and whatnot. But all the new people out there that have subscribed to the channel, y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Share the content out here because you know that helps us out in that algorithm. But we're gonna get right into it with Coach Harris, man. What's going on, man?
That man getting ready for this playoff push.
Yeah, that's it, guys. Getting ready for the playoffs. Number 2 seed in the East.
Should have been number one, but hey,
In
that's
the
another discussion.
3A East. Make sure you let know the classification.
Yeah, 3A East. I'm sorry, 3A East. For those that don't know, they're in the 3A. They should have been number one. I agree with him on that.
And Coach Harris, to get everybody familiarized with your program, let them know like what school you're part of and what conference they're in and where you finished the conference and all of that.
I'm at 71st High School in Fayetteville, North Carolina. We play in the United 8 Conference. It's a 3A conference. We finished first. It's the third. We three-peated. It's the third conference championship. Have not lost a regular season game since we entered that conference. Some of the people in our conferences: Cape Fear, Grays Creek, Jack Britt, Lumberton, Purnell Sweat, and Douglasburg.
All right. Some of the former members of the Southeastern 4A Conference back when they were 4A. So a lot of familiar opponents from your days in the Southeastern Conference or the Sand Hills Athletic Conference, whatever it was. Back in the day, you guys shared conference with Richmond Senior, Scotland County, Hope County, and all those guys. But some of your former conference mates are still with you in the United 8 Conference, correct?
Right.
Yes, and you guys, as you alluded to earlier, finished with the undefeated regular season. I know you're not finished yet, and I know this couple of years couldn't quite get over the hump. Do you think this is the year? What do you think makes this year different?
I think that we had talent the past 2 years that I think we should have got over the hump, but we didn't. This year, I feel like we're very junior heavy, but these aren't regular juniors. The seniors that we do have played a lot of football, man. These are the guys that came in during that COVID year, and they got to experience the bad because the COVID year was terrible for us. So they came in and they've had a real good work ethic ever since that year. That's the last year we was in that conference with Scotland, Richmond, Pinecrest, and so they work hard. They know what it takes to be good, but we have juniors that's behind them that works even harder than them. So I feel like just the maturity of our guys playing a lot more football than normal is going to get us over the hump. It should get us over the hump.
Hey, no doubt, man. I think you set the tone early in the season. I know lots of times at the beginning of the season, teams come out a little sloppy. They come out a little sluggish. Your guys' case, you came right out of the gate. You opened the season up with a 41-13 win over Richmond Senior. The fact that you've started out, you've gone undefeated the last couple of years in the regular season, that shows that you guys come out ready to go. What is there anything in particular you guys do to make sure your guys are not sluggish to start the season? What do y'all do that you're allowed to share that make you guys ready to go right out the gate?
It's just a tough summer, man. I mean, we start conditioning. We start conditioning in January. So by the time that spring ball period comes in, our guys are already in shape. We don't have to spend a lot of time getting in shape during the spring or getting in shape in the summer because they've been working out, either playing basketball or running track or just conditioning after school. They already in shape. So we get to drill them a lot and focus on the game plan for that first week, man. Like, we were game planning for Richmond in the spring ball.
Gotcha.
So
you got ahead of the curve. I got you.
Right.
Hey, Nick.
My first question is the state of preparation this week, man. How has your team been focused this week?
It's a lot less kids because you don't bring all the JV guys up. We didn't bring up, but maybe 5 JV guys. So it's a lot less kids. Everybody's locked in. Whenever you got a bunch of kids out there, man, it's hard to stay on them. Even with the 8-9 coaches we got, it's hard to stay on them. So just the fact that we can focus on that core group of guys, the backups, everybody's locked in. There's not a lot of playing going on. We don't have to do a lot of distance. So preparation didn't necessarily change. It was just less distractions.
Gotcha. And again, like you said, less distraction, because you're in one of the most biggest conferences or classifications in this state. So, and this part of the year is crucial.
Right.
Very crucial.
I mean, say what now?
Who's your opponent?
We're playing Triton.
Okay.
So
you know,
I think they're like 6-4.
Okay, a formidable opponent. I know you guys had a better record, but still, someone that you can't just go sleepwalking against. You still got to take them seriously and be ready to go.
I mean, absolutely. That's if anybody playing in the playoffs. And the thing with Triton, they're 6-4, but last year they was 5-5, and then they made it to the round before the Eastern Region. They actually got beat by Northern Ash. Northern Ash beat them before, we played them that next week. So they took a 5-5 team and almost went to the state championship.
That leads me into the perfect segue. The Anson Senior Bearcats, your alma mater, coached by Coach Jackson. Now he's gone.
No,
yeah. Okay. That leads me to my next segue, as I was saying. The Anson Senior High Bearcats, that's your alma mater. Coach, good friend, Coach Jackson, who hopefully will be joining us before the night is over. He went 5-5, but a team, and I hate saying this because Bill Parcells says you are what your record says you are, but Anson Senior team right now, the team that we saw over the last 4 or 5 weeks is a different team than we saw at the beginning of the season when we got off to an 0-3 start. Do you see this Anson team having that capability? Yes, it's 1 week at a time, but do you see this Anson team having that capability if they can hone in and remain focused, to having that same capability to make a deep run the same way that your upcoming opponent did last year?
Absolutely, because they have the players that can do it. I think that some of those things that happened to them in the beginning of the season, they learned from.
True.
So they won't be making those same mistakes, hopefully. And when you learn the lesson time and time again, you're less likely to let those same things bother you when it's crunch time. They seen that last week. I doubt they'll have a snap over the punter's head, or I doubt they'll have certain penalties in certain situations when they play Forest Hills the second go round. And then just the fact that they played Monroe so tight, I think that gave them a boost of confidence where they played them so
first.
And then they go and they play Forest Hills, who's been at the top of most people's rankings all season.
Yeah.
And you almost beat them. You should have beat them. So
yeah.
And they're gonna take that and run that and make a good run.
Yeah, well, I think I've been to every game, so I saw the transition and I saw them when they were playing poorly, and I saw them when they were playing well. And one of the biggest catalysts, 2 of the biggest things I saw was better protection of the football and a better offensive line play. First half of the season, offensive line play was bad, and we didn't protect the ball all that well as well. And personnel getting on and off the field was a big issue. Running on the field with 10 guys, and then the 11th one running out right before the play clock expires. Those kind of things. I noticed the difference. And I got Jermaine, and Jermaine, what's up, Jermaine? Like what he said to me after that North Orleans game, we were down 35 to 13 or something like that in that game. Yeah. And we were down 28-6 rather, and we cut that score 35-28, ended up losing 38-28. And I remember he said that at least in the second half he saw a fight in them. From that point on, I saw more fight in the squad too. They went to Albemarle, won the game, went to the bye week. From that point in the bye week, it looked like a different football team altogether. From that point on, I don't know what Coach Jackson and staff said to the guys, but since that point, they appear to be far more focused, far more competitive. far more serious in their craft and have been more physical at line of scrimmage. And you've seen that in the results of the games. As you were saying, they have the players to do it. Especially on the offensive side of the ball, you have solid offensive line play. You have two excellent backs in Jermaine's son, Jazir Griffin, and Kendrick May. You have a receiver in Jaden Little who can blow the top off the defense, so you can't creep guys in the box. So you have a solid QB play from Luke Hyatt. So you have the tools offensively. And the thing about it, we're a physical downhill running team. So as the playoffs come along, the weather cools down, the style of offense translates well to the weather and translate well to playoff style football. So I like the level of physicality we play with, and I like how we try to get downhill. We keep things simple. It's not fancy what we're going to do. We just do it, and we dare you to stop it. So I think that we have that ability as well. It's just the key right now is you're playing an opponent that you just played a week before. So it's not going to be a matter of strategy. It's going to be a matter of who imposes what will and who makes the fewest mistakes.
All
right. My question is more of a personal question, not a personal question.
Okay.
But do you think that you guys don't get enough respect in 3A?
No. I feel like what we're doing right now, we've been doing. As far as like winning and going undefeated, I've been there for 10 years. We've had 5 undefeated seasons. We just haven't won the big game. And I can see where that lack of respect comes from. When you don't win the big game, don't nobody really care about if you made it to the 4th or 5th round. You didn't win. That's the same reason Scotland doesn't get a lot of respect. They get more respect than us, but they don't get a lot of respect. They made it a bunch of times, but they ain't won but one.
Yeah.
You know, I can see where some people are coming from, but then I don't see where some people are coming from. But I just say we just got to go out there and win. Winning cures everything.
Makes a difference.
It cures everything.
I think the experience is the best teacher. So, I mean, the guys have already experienced the heartbreak. They've seen what it takes to get to the mountaintop. It's just now getting there and planting your flag on the mountaintop.
Right. And not to say that this is going to be easy, but if you look at the way the brackets are made, man, we was going into the playoffs playing a Zamir White Scotland team in the 2nd round, and we were second in the conference. We were going and playing 8 hours away at a 2-8 TC Robertson when we had an 8-4 record, and then the next week we played Charlotte Catholic.
Right.
Let me go back to the TC Robertson thing. TC with 2-8. Were they in a split conference or something?
They were in a split conference, but the crazy part is that's the only time we've ever went west.
Yeah, but as far as the reason they got in 2-8, they were probably the number 1 team of their classification in that split conference. Yeah,
and that's what it was. And we were second in ours. That was the year that Cape Fear, I think Cape Fear won the conference, or Jack Britt won the conference.
Yeah. It's just like Parkwood made the playoffs this year at 2-8, but the only reason they made it is because we only have 2 3A teams in our conference, and one of those 2 3A teams automatically gets in. So Parkwood got in by not being the worst of the 3A teams when there are only 2 of them.
Right.
But they didn't. But I guess in this case, since there were only 2, they didn't seed them like a conference championship. They seeded them like a wild card. But I've seen for teams in split leagues where a team can have a bad record, but they're the highest rank of that team in their classification in a split league. And still reap the benefit of it as if they're a conference champion. That's why I'm not a fan of split conferences. Like
they changed it a little bit. Back then, it was all you had to do was be that number 1 team in that classification, and you get seeded with the champions. Now it's you have to be the number 1 in that classification and have an above 500 record.
Good. That's why Parkwood got the last playoff spot in 3A instead of being seeded like a conference champion, because they were the number 1 3A team in our conference, but they only won 1 conference game, which was against Piedmont. So they were the number 1, and they went 2-8 and was the number 1 3A team in our conference, but they didn't seed them like a champion because they were below 500. Got you. So
they got a ticket to Boiling Springs this Friday. So
yeah, but I'm not a fan of split conferences, man. Like when I look at like Richmond Senior, they're 4A, but Scotland County's 3A, Lee County's 3A, but like Hope County's 4A, Southern Lee's 3A. We used to be in the league like that. We used to where we are now. Rocky River, Piedmont, and Parkwood are 3A, but the rest of us are 2A. And then when we were in the Southern Carolina Conference for a few years, Porter Ridge and Sun Valley were 4A, and the rest of us are 3A. I'm not a big fan of the split conference thing. I don't think it's necessary, and it also it indirectly rewards mediocrity because it offers an automatic playoff spot to a team that may not be worthy just simply because of their classification. And so I'm not a big fan of that. But
I agree because if you look at our schedule, if you look at our conference, there's only 3A schools in our conference, and those are the only 3A teams that we played. All the rest of the teams we played were 4A teams.
So who are the 4A teams in your conference?
Jack Brick, Grays Creek, Southview, Lumberton, Purnell Sweat, and who else? Is it somebody else? That might be it.
I believe it. So that makes that, and that confused me. Why was the need for that conference? Because you got the reason I say that is because if Scotland County's 3A, Southern Lee and all them 3A, how come they couldn't take the 3A schools from y'all's conference and taking the 3A schools from Richmond's conference, put them together, they put the 4A teams in y'all's conference and the 4A teams from Richmond's conference together as two separate conferences where all 4A and all 3. It seemed like they went above and beyond to make those split leagues when they didn't have to.
They did, and it's kind of crazy because even with if it was just a Cumberland County conference, we got enough 3A schools in Cumberland County to play a 3A schedule.
Right. And so, I don't. It's crazy. If Anson Senior was still a 3A, we might have been in our old league. But you know,
so Terry Sanford 3A.
Yeah, Terry Sanford's 3A. Westover's 3A. E. Smith's 3A. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Everybody else y'all play, like I said, y'all only played 3A teams.
But it's a 4-4. You got 4 4A teams and 4 3A teams in the league, right?
Well, 5 and 3.
5, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all play 2 3A schools and 5 4A schools in your league play.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean,
I'm trying to figure out this bracket now. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if Havelock did go undefeated or they did lose one.
Havelock technically went undefeated. Havelock got beat by New Bern.
Okay.
You're right.
New Bern had to forfeit the state championship. New Bern had to forfeit their state championship and forfeit some games this year, right?
Right.
Yeah, because of an ineligible player thing. Somebody snitched to the Pender County school, not Pender County, to the Craven County school. And yeah, New Bern had to forfeit. So on the field, Havelock is 9-1, but on paper they're 10-0.
Right. Correct.
That makes sense.
I get that, but my thing is y'all were undefeated outright.
In that sense, it doesn't really matter, and I don't mean to discount you, but because I mean, they're going to still go by what's on paper and whatever the metrics say. I'm not saying I agree with that system, but based on the system that they have, they can't look at it and say, well, they really did beat them, but they didn't. I mean, it's on paper to 10-0. Both teams are 10-0. Then whatever algorithms, whether it's RPI, whatever algorithms are used to break the tie are used, I would say.
And don't get me wrong, Havelock plays a tough schedule. They play J.H. Rose, they play New Bern, they play Jacksonville. And then I think they played a tough non-conference. But I feel like with us being undefeated, we played the Richmond. I mean, we can't help what Richmond scheduled. We scheduled a traditionally good program. Cape Fear is one of the highest ranked 3A schools. Pine Forest won their conference. So it's not like we played a worse schedule than Havelock. That's why I didn't get the RPI. I think that is doing too much. If I could say it.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I remember a couple of years ago, instead of RPI, they were using the max prep rankings instead, which I mean, still a similar concept, but
they take the max prep ranking into account. It's in there some way in that formula they use with the RPIs.
Okay, so when they started doing that, even initially they were doing that formula, or at one point did they just use solely the max prep rankings for the
I think last year or the year before was the first year they used the RPIs. It was strictly max preps before then.
Right, and I get the concept, kind of similar to the. It's kind of like college football playoff committee meets the BCS, like a combination of both. Like we're gonna have people selecting, but we're gonna use kind of a BCS type system as well. So I get it. It's just that I like for the system to be reasonable, because here's the thing: before you had teams, let's say 10 years ago, a team like Marvin Ridge schedule cupcakes, go 9-2, and to get the head whooped out of Madison County in the first round of the playoffs, and
No.
because they were as good as they thought they were. So it does, if done correctly, it's supposed to reward tough schedule, strength of schedule. So I get the concept. It just sometimes the concept doesn't seem, the math doesn't always match with it, if that makes sense.
It makes sense because if you look at it, the RPI, I think they use your opponent's win percentage and your opponent's win percentage.
Yeah.
So if you do it that way, then our win against Pine Forest doesn't look as good, even though they're a conference champion. Pine Forest is, I think, 6-4, 7-3. But they lost to us, Cape Fear, and Grays Creek. That's 3 teams out of our conference.
Yeah.
So I don't get how you can really knock them when you can't knock us for having them on the schedule, and they lost to the teams that we beat, and that's at the top of the 3A ranking.
Yeah. And now I get exactly where you come from. At the end of the day, I feel like in high school, seeding is not quite important, because I think the best teams end up where they belong, and the teams who are not as good end up where they belong. So I think it all works. It might affect your travel and all that, and whether you're home or whether you have to travel. But I feel like the better team typically in high school, if one team is empirically better than the other one, that better team is typically going to win. I know there are outliers, but most of the time, if let's say, for example, if we did it like the old days, and let's say you would end up tied with somebody and seeded like a 2 seed, and would in that old 16 format, you'd have been like a number 9 playing against a number 8, and instead of a number 2 playing against a number 15 back in the old days. Still, if you're that 9 seed but you're really good, you're still going to end up more than likely where you're supposed to be.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. He popped back in.
You're gonna have to
we're having technical difficulties. But
and I've been on that side of it where, okay, we got seeded lower than we should have, and that's like the year we played Charlotte Catholic in the second round. We were Charlotte Catholic's toughest game on their way to winning the state championship. We lost that on I think it was a muff punt. Like we was getting ready to punt the ball, and we mishandled it, and they scored off of that. And that's the difference in that game.
Well, we'll take it back to 2009 with Anson. Anson got screwed in the seeding in 2009, because this was back when you were in a split league, and the top 2 teams in each classification, the top 3A team was seeded as number 1, top number 2 3A team was seeded as number 2, the top 4A team was the 1, and the top 2 and the second 4A team was seeded as a 2. The way it was a 4-way tie. It was a 4-way tie for the conference title, and there was no clear tiebreaker, because everybody. It was like I beat you, you beat them, they beat me, like in the old school coin toss type situation. But of the 4 teams, Porter Ridge was one of them, which was a 4A team. Anson and Marvin Ridge, which was one of them, and one of them other Union County teams was the other one. And it's like we beat one of them beat us, one of them beat the other one, but the other one beat the other one type deal. And so, but the way I thought that should have been sorted out, I could live with Marvin Ridge was declared the number 1 seed on the 3A spot, and we were the 2 3A team in the league, whereas Porter Ridge was the number 1 4A team, and the other team that tied with us was another 3A team that was below us. So we should have been seeded like a number 2. But instead of seeding us like a number 2, they seeded us like a wild card and gave us a 12 seed. And Josh McLaurin on the phone, he said he and Tim McMahon, not McMahon, McMahon's gone. He and Coach Hyatt were on the phone with NCHSAA disputing that seeding. Nevertheless, we ended up being the number 12 seed, had to go play number 5 seed Marvin Ridge in the first round and beat him 21-7. We went on to go to the 4th round of the playoffs after beat Crest upset. It was 13 seed in similar situation to us where the conference lined up. They upset the 4 seed, so we hosted Crest number 12 versus 13 in the second round, beat Crest 10-3. Then the next week went up to Northern Guilford, the number 1 seed, beat them with Keenan Allen up there, beat them 34-32. And then, unfortunately, we lost to number 7 seed in the 4th round in the 3AA state semifinal game against South Point. We lost that game 35-21. And the point I'm making is, if you're a good team, if you're as good as you really think you are, you're going to end up where you need to be anyway.
Right? I mean, you gonna have to beat some tough teams regardless where you get seeded.
True.
Like you
All the
said,
smart people will be home after the first round.
right. So, like you said, I mean, eventually you're gonna run into them tough teams. But if it's me, I'd rather play a round or two before I have to go up the Northern Edge, JH Rose. Let us get the train moving and then play them tough games instead of having them coming up week 1, week 2.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to put yourself in the best possible position you could be in, and you want to have every advantage that you can. I mean, if you much rather have teams come to you than have to get on a bus and ride
Exactly.
3 hours or whatever. Nobody wants to do that if they can help it. But I said, but nevertheless, once you're in the tournament, as Bill Parcells said, you're in the tournament. At that point, no matter what hand you're dealt, you're in it.
Yeah.
You're in it, you got to win it.
You're
Yeah.
right.
You can't win it if you
I
ain't in it.
think with the defending champion in there this year, I think they are 19 in 3A.
Who?
Lincoln. The team that won it last year, Lincoln. East
Yeah,
Lincoln.
they took some losses this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
East Lincoln 3A.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they 3A.
Okay, I remember.
Oh,
Okay. They moved up that last realignment. Okay.
yeah, so they
I didn't know
like
you
number
won the whole
19
thing.
right now.
Yeah, and lots of times we look at one thing about teams. Lots of times a team's record doesn't always tell the whole story. And I'm
Right.
not doing the whole better than your record bull crap. That's not where I'm getting at. Lots of times you don't know the first few weeks of the season. You don't know who might have been injured in some of those games, who didn't play. You don't know who may have had to miss a couple of games on the team for violating team rules. There's certain things. My point is, there's certain things that you don't necessarily know. You don't know who came out sluggish where they hadn't found their identity, or they may have changed starting quarterbacks by the fourth week of the season, and that kickstart just like the Concord 06 when they switched quarterbacks. That's when everything took off. There are a lot of things that happen this season where you don't necessarily know what happened, where a team may have lost games early in the season. So the record doesn't always tell the story. I always look at it like this: everybody's 0-0 right now. And so,
Right.
and at this point, it's go time. No matter who you're playing, where you're playing, or what they did the last 10 or 11 weeks, all that matters is you're here now, you're 0-0, and if you don't get things done in the 48 minutes ahead of you, you're going to be on the couch.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're absolutely
So,
right.
And I wanted Anthony's response to that. He's back.
he's
Oh
back.
no,
Yeah.
I heard you. I agree with you. I mean, everybody's 0-0. It's a whole new season. So give me 1 second.
Hey, take your time, man.
And
Hey,
for y'all that
where
don't
do you get
know,
merchandise?
I can run down some of these 3A teams right quick because I got the full bracketology.
Before you do that, let the people know where they can get some of the merchandise.
Oh yeah, this is a quick commercial break. Hey man, if y'all looking for t-shirts, hats, accessories, if you're looking for a Culture Controversial Podcast t-shirt, man, head on over to moneyfreshclothing.bigcartel.com. Go ahead and get you a t-shirt, get you a hat, get you something, man. Get anything. Hey, tell them we sent you. Again, if y'all looking for the link, I gotta put it up there. I'm sorry, I apologize. I did not put it up there.
That's all right.
Right here. It'll be at the end of the ticker. But if you're looking for some CCP merch, it is at moneyfreshclothing.bigcartel.com. Get your t-shirt today.
All right, I'm back. That was my
Anthony
parents.
said,
They came up here to see me.
You popped in right at the commercial ad, boy. Just like a real TV show right there.
Yeah.
But what was I saying? I was responding to oh yeah,
About to be in 0-0, it doesn't matter. This point, if you don't take care of business, you're gonna be home.
right. Whenever you step into the playoffs, everything is 0-0. Wins and losses don't matter. You're seeded, so you got to play who's in front of you, and what you did coming into the playoffs don't matter no more.
Nope.
Doesn't matter at all.
And I was gonna break down some of these brackets while we here. I got the 3A bracket right here ready to go. We'll start in the East. We got the number 1 seed Havelock taking on 32 Dixon. Never heard of them. Yeah.
I don't know.
They somewhere in North Carolina. That's all I know.
Yeah.
We got number 16 Cape Fear going against 17 Western Alamance.
I like Cape Fear a lot.
Houston Powerhouse.
Yeah. We got number 8 White Oak versus number 25 JH Rose.
Those roads, they've been a powerhouse. White Oak, I think of White Oak Church down in Morven when I hear White Oak. But
White Oak's been pretty good this year, but you know, Rose is dangerous.
Yeah. If I ain't mistaken, the last couple of years I've seen them go past round 3 or round 4. They all went to them last year, right?
Right.
I remember back in the day when Independence was winning those 4 AA state championships, Rose was winning those 4A championships during that same run of Independence on their dynasty.
Yeah, that's whenever they was ranked.
Around the same time the Independence dynasty was going on, but they had to split playoffs, so we never got a Rose versus Independence matchup.
Right.
Because Rose had won 4 straight 4A championships during the same time when Independence had won their in the middle of Independence 7 straight 4 AA championships. Rose had won 4 4A championships in a row in the middle of that same time. They both had their dynasties during the same years.
Mm-hmm.
But we never got that matchup. That's why I hated those split playoffs. Honestly, when it comes to the playoff format, I wish they could do it like they did back in the late 90s up to about 2001. You got the East and you got the West. 16 in the East, 16 in the West, 15, so on and so forth. Top 2 or 3, however many teams are in your conference. If you're in a conference that got like 8 teams or 7 teams in it, the top 3 teams automatically get in. If you don't finish in that top 3, see you. Or if it's a league that only got like 6 teams or 5 teams, top 6 teams or so, top 2 get in. If it's a league with only 4 teams, conference champion get in. If you don't finish within the amount of automatic bids that your conference get, tough. Yeah. I know it's harsh, but the thing about it, always look at this. A playoff or postseason is supposed to be a matchup of the best. We're not supposed to reward mediocrity. If you're trying to get to the next level or trying to be amongst the elite, it shouldn't be this participation event. It shouldn't be this isn't like winning 6 games to get the bowl eligibility where everybody gets to join the party. There's supposed to be a level of elitism. There's supposed to be a level of exclusivity when it comes to winning a championship and then being able to compete for a championship. It shouldn't be an all-inclusive type thing where you have 10, and I know we were 5-5, but I'm using this as an example. We did finish third in our conference too, though. Where you have 10 5-5 teams making the playoffs. That shouldn't happen. When you do that, that's rewarding mediocrity. The same thing like when the NFL and the NBA too, when the NFL implemented a third wild card to make it 7 teams in the NFC and 7 teams in the AFC, you're rewarding mediocrity because the playoffs shouldn't be something that you're making easier to get in. It should be something that's hard to get to. Same thing with the NBA. They had that play-in tournament. You're rewarding mediocrity because you're allowing a team to finish 10th in the conference that may have only won 35, 36 games and have a chance to leapfrog and get in the playoffs. You're rewarding mediocrity. When you make an exclusive club easier to access, at that point, you're losing your level of exclusivity and you're making something more of a participation event than an event of something that's supposed to be among the elite. And I wish that we can go back to showing these kids that in order to you have to earn it. It's not something that's handed to you. But we live in a society now where that everybody is a winner and we want everybody to have a chance. Well, the thing about it, the most coveted things in life are supposed to be hard to get. If they weren't hard to get, they wouldn't be coveted. If any and everybody had a chance to get it, it wouldn't be coveted. If everybody can have it, then it's not worth having. That's what makes it special is the fact that not everybody can have a chance to get it.
All right.
Back to emphasizing that.
I agree with that.
Hey, any update on Ralph? Excuse me, on Coach Jackson.
No, not yet. We Ralph with Coach Jackson yet. But I'm gonna break down some more. I'm gonna break down some more season while we wait.
Coach Jackson, make sure you get to your house safely, man. We know it's getting dark out there, man. Right up 52. Make sure you get to the house safely.
It's deer out there.
Yeah, watch out for them deer.
All right, what was I? Okay, Rose. Who is this? Pearson. That's
in Roxborough.
Mm-hmm.
They got Northern Brunswick.
That's by the coast.
Yeah, we played them last year, and I think the third or fourth round.
Okay. We got number 5 Scotland County against Rocky Mount.
I like Scotland in that one.
You got Eastern I can't say that. Eastern Alamance
Yes, near Burlington, Elon, and all. I mean, the other side, Mebane, some in that area.
Yeah, versus Southern Durham.
I don't know what to think about Southern Durham, man. Like, you talk to one group of people and they like, man, they got elite talent, but they don't have a rough season. But they could turn it on like Triton did last year and run the table. So I don't know how that would go.
Okay. Who is this? Northern Nash versus Richlands.
I like Northern Nash.
Richland. That's where Mario Williams played at Richlands, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Former North Carolina State #1 overall pick in the NFL draft in 2005. Mario Williams.
We got Southern Nash versus Croatan.
Croatian.
Croatan, yeah.
That's in the Outer Banks.
I like Southern Nash. I got a chance to see Southern Nash play Northern Nash, and Southern Nash is a downhill, run it down your throat. They're gonna throw the ball about 2 times, but what they do works for them.
What did he say? Looking at that Forest Hills film.
Yeah, and in case you don't know who Jared Gatewood is, he's a former assistant principal at Forest Hills. He's currently the principal at Eastern Union Middle School, and he's a former Richmond Raider offensive lineman.
Hey, all I can tell you, man, don't hurt your eyes Friday.
Yeah, I definitely friendly enemy. He's a Raider. He's a Yellow Jacket, but his late father was from Anson County and played for the Bowman Bearcats, so he still has some Bearcat in his bloodline.
Hey, it's all love, man. It's all love over here.
Because Gatewood is an Anson County name, so he's still.
Oh yeah. What was that?
I remember his brother Justin Gatewood was a standout a football player for the Richmond Senior Raiders, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that was his brother.
We got Southern Alamance versus Orange.
Southern Alamance.
That's a short drive too from each other. That's only about like an Anson Forest Hill type drive.
Yeah. Jacksonville versus CB ACOP.
I like Jacksonville. They come out of that conference with New Bern and Havelock and J.H. Rose.
You got Vance County versus Terry Sanford.
I'm going with the Cumberland County boys. I'm going with Terry Sanford.
Hey, but Vance County, man, Northern Vance and Southern Vance merged a couple years ago. So now with them two combining together, they've kind of put it together up there. Northern Vance and Southern Vance were both good. So it wasn't like an East Montgomery, West Montgomery where they both were sorry and they got together and we just got a combined sorriness. You got actually two good programs that merged together. So now they have kind of unity. You still never know, man.
Right. So we got Harnett Central versus West Carteret.
Harnett Central been playing pretty good ball this year, man. They're in the conference with Pine Forest and Triton, and they having one of the best seasons they done had in a long time.
Okay. Is that like in Dunn, somewhere like that, in that area?
Triton, I thought Triton was.
No, I'm talking about Harnett Central. Is that like in Dunn?
Yeah, it's in that area.
Okay.
We got Fike versus Southern Lee.
All right, Fike is in Wilson.
Yeah.
Southern Lee, yeah.
The Golden Demons.
That's the Southern Lee, the Golden Demons?
No, Fike is the Golden Demons.
Okay. Because Southern Lee, they wear orange and stuff like blue and orange like Anson, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. Lee County didn't got large enough to where they got a second high school. That's crazy. And it's taken away from the Lee County Yellow Jackets.
We got Carteret County versus South Johnston.
I don't know too much about either one of them.
South Johnston, that's like near Clayton and Smithfield and all that. I'm in that area, kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've been to West Johnston before.
We got Williams versus Hunt.
And Williams got a pretty good running back.
Williams out of Burlington.
Yep.
Yeah, and I know Hunt won. Have gotten to state championship game before back when they lost to Concord years ago in the state championship game.
Well, Hunt and Fike, that's like a big rivalry.
Yeah, but they're both in the same city, right? In Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Juan Jackson, former Anson assistant. Juan Jackson is originally from Wilson, and I think one of those schools he has ties to because he's from Wilson.
And then we got the number 2 seed, 71st versus Triton.
Don't let him predict his own game.
Nah, it ain't no prediction. That's what I'm shooting for. We shooting to win.
Back have confidence. Yeesh. That man be great.
Yeah, I'm saying because like,
I'm
what
gonna
do you
take the
expect?
Falcons.
That man be great. All right, what's it? We got the West.
Let's go through the West.
The West, we got
As
number
we
one
kill
Chris
people around.
versus Parkwood.
Chris versus Parkwood. That game. Well, hey, you'll like this one, Anthony. I mean, not Anthony. Yeah, your name, Anthony.
Yeah.
I'm getting you for the ball head Anthony to be at the football games. I think your brother-in-law or something like that. I'm getting everybody mixed up now. Anyway,
I'm talking about Anthony Griffin.
Yeah.
Good guy. I talked to him last week after the game. Like he the one that always was telling me, he was bragging about you before I knew you like that. When he was telling me the brother-in-law coach of 71st and all that. So I was like, I'm glad that the connection was made. Parkwood versus Chris. I know you're not supposed to underestimate, and you're supposed to say any given Saturday and all that stuff, but they might as well forfeit the game tonight. I'm talking about Parkwood.
Yeah,
Why even waste that time? Why waste the people's time? Only 3 people are going to show up at the game: the mamas and daddies of the players they got, and that's all that's going to be there. And not all of them are going to be there. Why waste people's time? The only reason Parkwood is in the playoffs is because of technicality.
Hey, and Chris is loaded.
And then Jared said Chris by 5 scores. 5, 7 or 8. Let's see. 7 times 6 is 49. Hold on. 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 9 is 63. I'm gonna say Chris by 9 scores. Wait, no, they keep the clock rolling after 42. I'm gonna say Chris 56 to nothing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Parkwood got a decent kicker. Chris 56 to 3. I'll give him that.
Here's a good 3A matchup with 2 seed, 2. I ain't gonna say mid of the pack seeds right here. Yeah, number 16 Statesville versus number 17 South Point.
The Statesville Greyhounds have a solid football team, but it's hard for me to bet against the Red Raiders in the first round playoff game. I'm going with the South Point Red Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got number 8 West Charlotte versus number 25 Northeastern Guilford.
I don't know a thing about Northeastern Guilford, but I'm going to pick West Charlotte to blow them out. I think West Charlotte's a team that I think the West is going to come down to West Charlotte and Chris. I know the seeding might make them meet a little earlier than the round 4 championship, but I think either West Charlotte or Chris will come out of the West. So I'm picking West Charlotte to win that game.
Okay. We got number 9.
I don't know. Wait a minute.
Heidenreich
Hold up.
versus-
Don't go to the next one yet.
Okay.
I think West Charlotte is gonna win, but we cannot excuse the fact that they just lost to North Met.
They lost North Met on Friday.
Yes, sir.
Really?
That's why I was thinking, what could have happened?
Weird things happen, man.
You lying about that? I watched them highlights. I was shocked too.
I remember a few years ago we went 4-7 and Statesville went 8-3 or 9-2 and we beat them that year 14-0. Weird stuff happened. Weird things happen sometimes. I remember another year we beat Sun Valley 14-0. We were 4-6 going to that game and they were 7-3 at last game of the season and we beat them and we had to win that game to get in the playoffs. So weird things happen, man.
Yeah.
It definitely happened.
Especially if you get to turn the ball over.
Right.
And who is it? And what conference is West Charlotte in? They in a split conference too?
They're
Yes, with Malik Reed and Chambers and all them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they number 8. What's the next one? What's it? High and Bright versus Tuscola.
High Brighton's usually a squad out of Lenore. And you know Tuscola, we played them a few years ago in 2016 in the playoffs when we were 3A.
Yeah.
That's what Jonathan Crompton, the former Tennessee Volunteer quarterback, played. The Tuscola Mountaineers and the High Brighton Panthers. In that game, who's the higher seed in that?
High and Bright.
That's a tough one. I'm gonna pick High Brighton.
Yeah, I have no idea about either one of them programs.
High Brighton's traditionally very good. I feel like that. Like usually 9-1, 8-2 type good year in and year out.
Yeah.
I remember one time they went toe to toe with Butler back when Butler was winning state championships. High Brighton was a 3A school and Butler was a 4AA school, and Butler just beat them 35-28 up there at High Brighton a few years ago. So they're when you get them up there in the altitude or whatever, they're not a slouch by any stretch.
We got number 5 J.N. Robinson versus number 28 North Davis.
I'm gonna go. North Davidson's usually good. What happened to them?
Did North Davidson just play Mooresville?
No, Mooresville played Lake Norman last week.
That's right.
Yeah.
But who North Davidson playing again?
J.M. Robinson.
I'm picking Robinson to win that game, but North Davidson traditionally have good teams. So that's like the Highway 52, like going to a Thomasville and all that. But for them to be a 28, what's North Davidson record? Like 6-4 or something?
I don't know what they record. They haven't got the record beside it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to say J.M. Robinson, but that might be one of those that can be one of those shocker type things. North Davidson usually have talent, so I wondered, are they just young and got talent and just kind of stumbled along the way, but starting to put it together, or are they just something this year? That's what I don't know. So I'm gonna tentatively pick J.M. Robinson. I'm gonna say J.M. Robinson in a close game, like a one-score game.
Both these teams we played in the playoffs in the past, right here, Northwest Cabarrus and West Rowan.
You know what?
Coach
is the winner of this game playing the winner of the Robinson game?
Talking about the North Cabarrus and West Rowan.
No, the J.M. Robinson and whoever they was playing, is that winner gonna play the Northwest Cabarrus winner?
Yeah.
Then J.M. Robinson might be looking past that team to get shot at Northwest.
Here's some vital information about North Davidson. They got another school in the area open, which pulled a lot of North Davidson's kids. So that's where North Davidson's falling off. So that makes sense. J.M. Robinson versus North Cabarrus, that's a cross-town battle if they end up meeting each other in the second round. Yeah. Speaking of Northwest Cabarrus, I know Jared would be happy with this. The Coach Eric Mormon is the coach at Northwest Cabarrus, former West Stanley head coach, former North Mecklenburg head coach, but most notably, I believe Jared's former teammate at Richmond Senior, if I'm not mistaken. Did y'all play together, or was he looked after you, Jared? And I think it was Jared's former teammate at Richmond Senior, who I think should be the next head coach of Richmond Senior when they fired the idiot in that line, no good, dishonorable Brian Teagle.
Hey.
And is Eric Mormon and Jared, is Eric Mormon related to Charlie Mormon, former radio quarterback? Are they brothers or what?
Yeah, but that's the J.M. Robinson to play the winner out of them two.
Yeah, and I wonder if they related to Mrs. Deborah Mormon, who's a fellow member of the Amen Zion Church, who a good friend of my mother's. I wonder, are they related to her? But that's another story for another day.
We got Eastern Guilford, number 13, versus Central Davidson.
That's a conference. That's like a conference rematch, ain't it?
I think it is.
One of those schools, McElhaney, is at. He's at one of the Davidson County. Well, he was at one of those Davidson County schools. He might be in Gary or somewhere like that now. But he's back.
Yeah.
Used to get Respiratory and Terrence Holt played. I remember a few years ago the school burned down, but it seems like they bounced back. But I know back in the day, Central Davidson and Eastern Guilford used to be. I don't really know anything about either one of those schools.
Me either.
I'm going to pick Eastern Guilford just based on their tradition, but I really don't know.
All right. We got number 4 Dudley versus number 29 West Iredell.
Dudley. I don't even have to talk about West Iredell.
We got number 3 West Henderson versus 30 Irving.
I don't know, but one is the 30. That third team probably like 5-5. I mean, I know you got to play the games. I'm gonna whoever you said number 1 or the team that went like 9-1, whichever one it was.
Okay, that'd be probably West Henderson.
West Henderson, yeah, we're gonna say that.
We got number 14 Ledford versus number 19 East Lincoln, the defending state champions in 3A.
Ledford, Anson played Ledford in 2017.
Yep.
Playoff game, lost to him in overtime. And I'll never forget that game. Ledford, that's where Brad Hoover and Brad Hoover used to play with the Panthers. That's where he played, and they're the Ledford Panthers too. Who's Ledford playing again? East Lincoln.
Yeah, they're playing East Lincoln.
What is it? Is the East Lincoln lose everything they had last year or something?
They lost a lot.
The rebuilding process.
I'm gonna go with Ledford.
I'm gonna go with East Lincoln. I ain't gonna. You defending champ. I'm gonna ride until you fall off.
But are they really defending champs? Because the guys that may be playing right now may have nothing to do with that.
Don't matter until they lose. I gotta go with them.
I hear you.
All right, we got number 6. We just talked about this. It was just in the comments. Oak Grove versus number 27 Ashbrook.
Ashbrook or Ashboro?
Ashbrook.
Okay, I
Green
can hear
Wave.
you. That's funny. That's where James Worthy, the Hall of Fame Lakers legend, played his high school basketball.
Yeah, you
But
did.
Ashbrook Green Wave.
The Green Wave.
Now, who Ashbrook playing again?
Oak Grove.
Oak
That's the school
Grove.
he was just talking about in the
That's the school
comments.
that Derek was talking about that opened that took away North Davidson's kids. So
Yeah.
I'm going to
Number
pick
6.
all of North Davidson's good players. I'm going to pick Oak Grove. They took North Davidson's playmakers.
They took them all. They're number 6.
He's a
We got number 11 Pittsburgh versus number 22 North Henderson. I'm sorry.
The Pisgah Bears. I didn't know Pisgah had gone up 3. Hold up. Jared said Oak Grove looks great. No, he said Oak Grove. He said Ashbrook looks great coming off the bus, but not much after that. And Jared is a former Gaston County resident, so he might know what he's talking about. But anyway, Pisgah versus who?
Pisgah versus North Henderson.
I know. See, Pisgah is one of those. What I was going to say, mountain teams. One of them big old mountain boys gonna run it right down and throw. A grizzly bear might run out on the field. Type mountain boys. I don't know much about North Henderson, but that's like a mountain area too. That's like near Hendersonville and all that. So,
yeah.
I'm gonna pick Pisgah. Usually has good tradition. Pisgah and Pisgah are rivals. They both in Haywood County, and and both of them always typically have good programs. So I'm gonna go with Pisgah Bears in that game.
All right. We got number 7 AC Reynolds and number 6 North Gaston.
AC Reynolds is a familiar program. Anthony, you played, if I'm not mistaken, as a sophomore. You may have played against AC Reynolds.
As a freshman.
Right. The AC Reynolds Rockets, they dropped down 3 this year. They were 4 last year. They took a middle of their alignment drop, just like Jay Robinson did. Well, Jay Robinson went from 283 in the middle of it. AC Reynolds dropped down to 384. We know that AC Reynolds have won state championships in the past. We know they have a rich tradition. It's hard for me to bet against AC Reynolds Rockets, no matter who they're playing. I'm going to go with AC Reynolds Rockets.
I think North Gaston might get them, man. They're having a pretty good year.
Man, I haven't heard anything from North Gaston since they beat us back in 2000.
Well, before they played Crest this year, they were hyping them up. So who knows?
Yeah, man. AJ Blue ain't running to that tunnel.
We got number 10 Kings Mountain versus number 23 Smoky Mountain.
Kings Mountain.
I still have bad memories and a bad taste in my mouth from 2008 when we went to visit the Kings Mountain Mountaineers. Nevertheless, I cannot deny they have a talented football team. They went a good distance last year. Evidently, they have a good team this year. I've heard a lot of good things about Kings Mountain. They did lose to Crest last week, but I believe that was their only loss of the season. I'm going with the Kings Mountain Mountaineers.
And we got number 15 North Lincoln versus number 18 Rockingham County.
I don't know.
You know, the girl I should have married is from Rockingham County, but she's from Reedsville, which is in Rockingham County. 15 versus 18. Who's Rockingham County playing again?
They playing North Lincoln.
I'm gonna go with North Lincoln. The crazy thing about Rockingham County, despite their name, that county has like 4 high schools in it. So 4 or 5 high schools in it, even though they got a school kind of like New Hanover down there in Wilmington. Even though you got a school named after the county, you got like multiple high schools in the county. Same thing there. So it's not like this one county powerhouse got everything. So I don't usually hear up that way. I always hear talk of Reedsville being a powerhouse and then Moorhead being decent. I don't know Madison being decent too. I don't ever hear anything about Rockingham County. I'm going with North Lincoln.
North Lincoln, that's what we got. We got number 2 Hickory against number 31 Hunter Hoods.
The Hickory Red Tornadoes versus the Hunter Huskies. Famous alumni from Hunter Eric Sleepy Floyd, former Golden State Warrior. Yeah, they did exist before Steph Curry played there. Former Golden State Warriors guard Eric Sleepy Floyd played for the Hunter Huskies. They used to be a basketball rival in Anson County way back in the day when Anson was a basketball powerhouse, which was a long time ago. Who's Hunter Husky playing again?
They're playing Hickory.
I'm going with Hickory Red Tornadoes. That sounds so similar to Hunter Hurst, like I want to say Hunter Hurst Helmsley, but the Hickory Red Tornadoes.
Time to play the game. No.
You caught the reference.
That's all the 3A right there. I got, like I said, we got 4A. I'm waiting on Ralph, but I'm gonna still go through the brackets. We can go through 4A. I got all of them right here.
I got a feeling he's coming, but still, let's do our thing.
We'll keep the show going on, man. We still
hey, this train gonna keep on rolling. This thing called life will keep on going.
Eastern 4A, we got number 1 Roseville versus number 32 Purnell Sweat.
Purnell Sweat made playoffs.
Listen, man. Listen. Before you start, Purnell Sweat is headed in the right direction.
What does that mean?
They are a lot better than what they've been.
So they won 3 games?
No, they beat Grace Creek. Because they're in our conference, they did pretty good, man. They weren't bad.
Everybody played Purnell Sweat for homecoming.
This year you would have lost on homecoming some of them times. Purnell Sweat ain't bad. I don't think they're gonna have enough to beat Roseville, but they heading in the right direction.
As long as none of their guys jump over the fence like they did years ago anyway. I'm going with Wake Forest Roseville.
All right, we got number 16 Garner versus Wake Forest, number 17.
Woo!
I'm going with Garner. One of the guys I used to coach with when I first started at 71st, Deron Donaldson. He just was at Smithfield 7. And you know how bad that program was. He went and he turned that thing around. He's doing pretty good at Garner. So I'm gonna go with him with the upset.
I'm gonna go with Garner because the guy came from Smithfield 7, so at least we know he got his share of bad barbecue. Out that way. but I'm gonna go with Garner.
Oh man. We got number 8 Jack Britt versus number 25. Listen, man, don't get mad because I can't pronounce the school name. Whatever.
Fuquay Farina.
Yeah, Fuquay, whatever.
Dang, now you got me talking like you. I mean, Fuquay Farina. Yeah.
I'm going with the Cumberland County boys. I'm gonna go with Jack Britt.
I'm going with the Buccaneers.
All right. We got number 9 Pine Forest versus number 24 Ashley.
Ashley to Wilmington, right?
Say what now?
Ashley, that's in Wilmington, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Pine Forest. I don't really know much about either, but I know some great guys with Pine Forest. Shout out to Matt Hodge. Shout out to Jamal Blackwell. 2 great gentlemen I know who graduated from Pine Forest.
I'm gonna go with Pine Forest. That's another Cumberland County group. So, and that's my home school where I actually teach at. So,
you don't teach at 71st?
Nah, I teach at Pine Forest. I coach at 71st.
Oh, I did not know.
Did not know that.
I did not know that at all. So I mean, I ain't got nothing to do with any of that. Fun fact about Pine Forest: Pine Forest was supposed to play their season opener against Anson County in 2001. They ended up backing out, and we played Myers Park instead. I know that doesn't mean anything, but I just want to throw that out there.
Man, I love the history. We got number 5 Cardinal Gibbons versus number 28. Is that Overheels?
Yes, that's Spring Lake. That's Spring Lake Overheels. That's in Harnett County, right at the Cumberland County border.
Okay.
It's not really in Spring Lake, but it got a Spring Lake address because it's near Spring Lake. But anyway, Cardinal Gibbons is going to kick their butt, but let's get to that. I'm going with the Crusaders of Cardinal Gibbons. They got the Lord on their side. They're the Crusaders. I'm going with it.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Cardinal Gibbons too.
We got number 12 Millbrook versus number 21 Heritage.
I'm going with
Mountain
Millbrook.
Or are you talking about Mountain Heritage? Or there's
Heritage.
no Mountain.
Nah, it's a Heritage up in near Raleigh.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Millbrook because my cousin I said Norton graduated from Millbrook, so I'm going with them.
Okay.
Richmond County used to play Millbrook back in the day. They used to play Broughton and all them, but that's neither here nor there.
We got number 13 Clayton versus number 20 Southview.
I know you're gonna go with the Southview Tigers, but I'm going with the Clayton, whatever they are.
Hey, Southview is a dangerous team. Them guys, they got athletes all over the field, man. I really don't see them losing in the first round.
Southview have played in state championship games and stuff too. Lost a couple times Independence during that dynasty. Southview has traditionally been a powerhouse, but I think they're going to lose Friday.
Whenever they was playing Independence, I hit the head coach of 71st, Duran McLaurin. He was the offensive coordinator for those Southview teams.
Okay, so he's been a part of winning culture for a long time.
Yeah, he wins everywhere he goes.
All right, we got number 4 Pinecrest versus number 29 South Garner.
I'm going with the Pinecrest Patriots coach Nick Edens, former Anson Bearcat, and he did have a brief stint coaching in Richmond County for a while, and coached at West Montgomery and coached the Crest Chargers. But I'm going with Coach Nick Edens, the Casey's Oldfield native.
All right, got number 3 Hargett versus number 30 Chapel Hill.
Hargett is real good.
I don't know.
I already know a lot about these Eastern teams in the state.
You don't be surprised if you talking about Hoggard in the Knicks.
Oh, Hoggard. Hell, I didn't know what to say. Hoggard.
Yeah, Hoggard. Yeah, Hoggard.
Hoggard. Yeah, from Wilmington.
Yeah,
they always have a good team. Now that I know who we talk about, yeah, I'm picking Hoggard.
My bad.
Easy to make it to the fourth round. They good.
Yeah, they number 3. So be on the lookout for Hoggard.
So that's an after Thanksgiving team. What you saying? That's a Black Friday team.
Yes, it is.
I miss the days of Anson County playing on Black Friday. I used to love the day after Thanksgiving, on Thanksgiving dinner, talking about who the Bearcats played today. It's been a long time, y'all.
Been a long, long time.
It's coming back.
Long time. Pinecrest we had. All that guy. Yeah, I mean, I know the Raiders played them close, but I like Coach Edens, and I think he's doing great things there, and I wish him all the best in this postseason.
We got Holly Springs versus Jordan.
Jordan, that's a cross-region battle. Jordan's in Durham, and Holly Springs is near Raleigh. There's in Wake County. Don't know anything, but I'm going to go with Jordan because I had a roommate years ago, Michael Don, who graduated from Jordan. So I'm going to go with Jordan because I have a former roommate that from college that went to Jordan. So that's going to be the basis of my pick.
Well, Jordan is coached by I don't know if you know this guy, Antonio King. He was the one that took Hillside to the state championship. And he's at Jordan now. He's doing real good with them. And Holly Springs.
He's there with Greg Little played at Hillside.
I think his name was I don't know if he was there when he was there, but I think his quarterback was Vlad Lee. The one that went to James Madison. I think he won a national championship with James Madison or went to the national championship.
Yeah, I don't like James Madison because I didn't like the old coach Mike Houston. He turned Charlotte 49ers down and went to East Carolina. And he was the coach when James Madison won that national championship, so screw James Madison.
Well, and Coach First, that was one of my coaches at Fayetteville State. He's at Holly Springs. But I'm going to take Jordan.
I'm going to take Jordan because I like Jordan. So, yeah. We're going to go. The next one is number 6, Apex Friendship. These some names, boy. Versus Southeast Raleigh.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm gonna go with Southeast Raleigh because we scrimmaged against Apex Friendship. I think last year, and it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. So I'm going with Southeast Raleigh.
I'm going to say Southeast Raleigh because your name Friendship. I mean, come on, man.
Friendship.
Yeah, that's
Friendship. We got number 11 Laney versus Middle Creek.
Well, I'm going with the Emsley A. Laney Buccaneers, the alma mater of who? Come on, guys. You know, yeah.
I'm gonna go
they were a state runner-up. They lost the Independence State Championship game one year too, back in 2001. But I'm going with the Laney Buccaneers now.
All right. We got Hillside versus New Hanover.
The boys from Wilmington versus the boys from Durham. I'm going for I'm not going for, but I'm choosing Hillside.
I'm gonna go with New Hanover. Hillside been having some struggles lately.
Sounds
All
good.
right. We got number 10, New Bern
Bears.
versus number 23, Apex.
I'm going with New Bern. The reason why I feel like New Bern got a chip on the shoulder. They won a state. They were crowned and they got uncrowned. And I think they had 4 physical games this year, and I think they're going to be in us against the world mode. And so I think they're going to want to show that that we're worthy of our crown. Whether they get recrowned again or not, that's to be determined. And I'm sure 74 Falcons and Anthony and them are going to say that, hey, we got something to say about that. But nevertheless, I think in the first round, I think they're going to take some of the frustrations out of their first round opponent.
I think New Bern's a 10 seed. But if they wouldn't have forfeited those games, they would be a top 4 seed. So them being in the middle of that bracket, the spot that they're in, bracket busters. I think they're gonna take care of business.
They finna disrupt some stuff.
Yes, they are.
Disrupt the establishment. Well, they are.
I think we got a rematch because I think this was a playoff match last year. If I ain't mistaken, we got number 15 Leesville Road versus 18 Richmond Senior.
I'm going with Richmond Senior. I think that Liar Teal gonna get a win.
Leesville Road.
We got number 2 Cleveland versus number 31 Grays Creek.
I'm gonna go with I always hear about Grays Creek when I listen to Carolina Football Today on the radio, so they must be decent. So I'm gonna go with them.
Well, Grays Creek is a Cumberland County school, but I'm gonna go with the other guy.
Well, G's 104, they always talk to Grays Creek coach on Saturday morning. So Lee and whoever the guy is. I forgot Lee's last name. I'm sure Jared knows Lee's last name for G104.
Now, Grays Creek does have a good running back. He don't ran for 1 million yards this year, but I don't think they're gonna be able to pull that one off.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we got something. Wait a minute. No, we don't.
Oh, I thought
that was a little red dot had popped up. I seen it come up.
When you see red dots, you get on the floor. But in the chat room, see red dots and it's good news.
It was the red dot on the guest menu. In the West, we got number 1 Weddington versus number 32 Providence.
Weddington.
That should have been a no-brainer there.
Yeah.
We got number 16 Julius Chambers. Shout out to Julius Chambers. And number 17 Northwest Guilford.
Julius Chambers. And the real Julius Chambers was a native of nearby Mount Gilead.
Shout out to Julius Chambers.
God rest his soul. Great civil rights lawyer.
We got number 8 TC Robertson versus number 25 Reagan.
TC Robertson.
Here's a pretty interesting matchup. Number 9 Myers Park versus number 24 Charlotte Catholic.
Charlotte Catholic.
Yeah, I probably go Charlotte Catholic with that one.
I don't know. I'm going with Myers Park, just to be contrarian. Okay.
We got number 5 Huff versus number 28 Asheville. Yeah, I'm going for Huff. You know what I want to say to Asheville, but they ain't none of my business.
Well, I mean, I don't have no gripe with Asheville. Asheville, when they played Anson 05, they just beat the heck out of Anson. It's not like they cheated or nothing.
They didn't cheat. They were just good.
They ran the ball right down Anson's throat, and we sat there and took it. That's all.
That's all we could do.
And before you go on, here's a myth I get tired of. I've gotten arguments with Quentin Cable about this. Nelson Rush Sr. got arrested, the father of our friend Nelson Rush. I got a debate with him about this too. We marched down the field, and we on a 4th and goal situation, we ended up not converting. And people kept saying if we would have gotten that 4th and goal and gone up 7-0, we would have won that game. I said no. Converted that 4th and goal and scored at 7. We lost the game 31-0. Had we scored right there, we lost the game 31-7.
Yeah, we're gonna change the outcome. I'm just gonna let you know that. Shout out to the Mountain guys, though. We got number 12 Porter Ridge versus number 21 Culberson.
That's a conference game, a conference rematch.
Yeah,
I'm going with the Porter Ridge Pirates, but that's a toss up.
I'm going Porter Ridge.
I don't know too much about either one of
Boy, they played each other already in the same conference. They played.
Yeah.
They used to be in the conference with Anson when we were 3A, and that could go. That's a tough one. Puerto Rico is good but not great, I think Puerto Rico already beat Cuperson in the regular season. So I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Cuperson got the mild upset there, but I'm gonna still lean with the Cuperson Cavaliers, but I'm gonna lean with the Puerto Rico Pirates.
All right. Here's a pretty interesting right here. Number 13, Sun Valley versus number 20, Cox Mills.
I'm going with Cox Mill.
I'm probably with you on that one, Cox Mills.
I'm gonna go with Sun Valley, man.
They're not that impressive. Anson made them look good in that fourth quarter.
I don't know, game, honestly.
I was at that game. Anson fell apart in that fourth quarter.
That was one of those ones.
There, Sun Valley is not that impressive.
All right, we got number 4 Grimsley versus number 29 North Mick.
Grimsley.
Yeah, I'm going with the Whirlies out of Greensboro. Grimsley.
Got out of Grimsley. We got number 3 Mooresville versus number 30 A.L. Brown.
That's a conference game. They just played about 3 weeks ago.
What was Grimsley's team?
Grimsley number 4.
I don't see how they ain't number 1.
I'm trying to figure that out too because I don't even know if they lost. Maybe it's that RPI stuff. Because Weddington lost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But to your next game, Kannapolis versus Mooresville. That's a conference rematch. They just played about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm going with Mooresville again. Kannapolis, for whatever reason, Kannapolis just ain't Kannapolis anymore.
Shout out Nick Maddox.
Nick Maddox been going for Kannapolis.
Yeah. The great Seminole Nick Maddox.
Yeah, Nick Maddox, the great Florida State Seminole. We got number 14 Davie County versus number 19 Mount Tabor.
Who the last one?
Mount Tabor.
Mount Tabor. I didn't know what you said. They're right down. They're not far from here. About 20 minutes. That's a 20-minute drive. Mount Tabor from Winston. I'm gonna go with Davie County, but it's a toss-up. Yeah. The War Eagles of Davie County. Chris Reynolds, former Charlotte 49ers quarterback, played at Davie County, so I'm going to say Davie County.
Okay. We got number 6 Butler versus number 27 Alexander Central.
Butler.
Yeah, Butler all day. We got number 11 West Forsyth versus 22 Arjukello.
West Forsyth Titans.
Yep.
The alma mater of who?
That is Chris Paul.
Correct.
We got East Forsyth versus Page.
East Forsyth.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm gonna say East Forsyth. I know Page used to be a powerhouse, but I'm gonna say East Forsyth.
We got number 10 Lake Norman versus number 23 Independence.
I'm going Independence over Lake Norman.
I'm going Independence also.
Yeah.
Lake Norman's good now, but I'm still going Independence. And it kind of pains me to do that because I know a young man who used to play for Lake Norman, so it pains me to do that, but I got to be unbiased.
We got number 15 Marvin Ridge versus number 18 Mallard Creek.
Mallard Creek in a blowout.
Yep.
Marvin Ridge.
Are you calling Marvin Ridge?
Marvin Ridge.
You got Marvin Ridge over Mallard Creek.
Marvin Ridge.
I'm
telling you, man. Listen, that ain't the same Mallard Creek y'all been watching the past couple years.
But they ought to have enough to beat Marvin Ridge. They played the number 5 team in the country to a 10-7 game.
Yeah.
Marvin Ridge, he works in Union County.
What happened after that game when they played that team? After that game, Mallard Creek ain't did much.
I still think they got nothing to beat Marvin Ridge.
That's a toss-up. I don't know.
They're going to send Marvin Ridge to Marvin's room.
We got number 2 Watauga versus number 31 Hickory Ridge.
I'm going to pick the Watauga Pioneers over the Hickory Ridge Raging Bulls.
And that was the 4A conference. What is this one right here? Is that 1A? No, that's 4A. Sorry.
Well, you already done 4 and 3, so don't let you left.
2A and 1A, yes. We got I think this is the 2A bracket right here.
Oh shoot, Marvin Ridge beat Weddington this year, according to Sean Wheeler.
They did?
And then Jared Gatewood also confirmed it as well. So according to Sean Wheeler and Jared Gatewood, Sean, make sure you send this to Pastor Crump as well, man, because I forgot to tell him about this last week.
I love you too.
All right, we got the 2A bracket. We're gonna start in the East. We got the number 1 seed Clinton versus number 32 Kingston.
The Clinton Dark Horses will win in a blowout, and we're gonna get to 1A Jared in a minute. But yeah, I got the Clinton Dark Horses winning the game. That's where Coach Jordan, our athletic director, he came from Clinton.
Okay.
Great man.
We got number 16 Bedingfield versus 17 James Keenan.
I'm gonna go with Keenan because I hear about them.
James Keenan.
Major
Number
pain like
8
dirty. What he said? Major pain like Damon Wayne. Low down, dirty, scheming like his brother Keenan.
We got Cummins versus Heidi Trask.
Cummins.
Heidi Trask.
Spell that.
Heide.
I don't know him. I'm going with Cummins.
We got is that Martin County versus Southeast Alamance.
I'm gonna go with Southeast Alamance.
I'm just going with Southeast Alamance because they just sound like the right choice.
We got Wallace Rose Hill versus Green Central.
Wallace Rose Hill. They used to be a powerhouse. Shout out to my former coworker Bernard Pratt. He's a Wallace Rose Hill. They won and competed for state championships. Them and Albemarle used to play in the state championship like every year. Back when Wallace Rose Hill won it.
We got Hertford County versus St. Paul's.
Was that Hertford County? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, that's Hertford County.
Hertford, yeah.
I'm going with Hertford County.
Going St. Paul's.
St. Paul, that's out there near Lumberton and Pernell Sweat and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going with
Hertford. Was it West Craven versus North Pitt?
That's across town, kind of like, across border counties. Craven County, that's New Bern, and Pitt County is Greenville, right? So, it's the same area. I'm going West Craven. It's gonna be a horror. I'm going West Craven. It's gonna be a horror movie. See what I did there?
We got Nash Central versus Roanoke Rapids.
Nash Central.
I'm going Nash Central because Anthony said it. I don't know nothing about either one of them.
Well, Nash Central plays in that conference with Northern Nash and Southern Nash, Rocky Mount, and I think Hertford County's in there. I'm not sure.
Okay.
We got Southwest Edgecombe versus
That's me Rocky Mount too.
Red Springs.
I know where Anthony gonna pick Red Springs, and I'm gonna pick them too. Why not?
Nope, not picking Red Springs. I got a lot of family down there, and I'm sorry, but I think they're going home.
I'm gonna pick Red Springs just to go against you. I thought you were gonna pick Red Springs because it's in Robertson County and close to Cumberland County. No.
Nah, not this time, man. I just don't think they got it.
All right. Listen, we got a video game, Farmville Central versus Southwest Onslow.
I'm gonna say Southwest Onslow. Don't they usually have good teams?
I ain't sure about either one of them.
I'm gonna go. I just can't see a team named Farmville Central winning a playoff game, so I'm gonna go Southwest Onslow.
I used to play Farmville in my game, but
I know a lot of people did. You're kind of young to play Farmville on Facebook, but I know a lot of older people did.
Play Farmville.
I see you teach your dad how to play and see him playing it, but you're looking young. I actually missed the best playing it.
Hey, I played Farmville. We got Whiteville versus South Granville.
South Granville used to be good. I remember they screwed that snot of a game back in 2018. But I don't think South Granville is good as it used to be. So Whiteville, Foxy 99 got a station in Whiteville. The Fox, Whiteville, Fairville, the Big Stick, Foxy 99.
We got East Duplin versus Eastern Wayne.
Eastern Wayne, that's where Manny Lawson, the former Buffalo Bills linebacker, former NC State Wolfpack, former teammate of Mario Williams played. So I'm going with Eastern Wayne.
I
might go Duplin.
I'm just doing because Manny Lawson plays there.
Got number 7 Princeton versus number 26 Camden County.
Going Princeton.
Sure, Princeton. I don't know. I would think they're really smart to call Princeton.
We got Lewisburg versus Northwood.
Northwood is in Pittsburgh. Anson beat Northwood 40-7 back in 2004. That was a long time ago.
Yep.
And who they playing? Lewisburg. There's a Lewisburg College up there too. I'm gonna go with Lewisburg.
Yeah.
Lewisburg as well. We got Midway versus Holmes.
Midway, ain't that like right outside of Winston-Salem?
I'm not sure where they look.
Nah,
Like in Davidson County or something like that?
I
Or is
thought
it
Midway was the other way, like around that Lumberton area, like going towards.
okay? There's a town named Midway that's in Davidson County, but the school Midway is not related to that town, correct?
Oh.
And I'm asking.
I'm not sure. I think it's down that way.
Okay.
Towards Florence. Going towards Florence.
Near Lumberton. Now, who they playing again?
They're playing Holmes.
I'm going with Holmes.
Holmes out of Edenton.
I would think so.
John H. Holmes. That's what Paul Hoggart coaches. The former Eastern County assistant, and he did have a little brief stint coaching Richmond County. Paul Hoggart is the head coach at John H. Holmes, the Holmes Aces, the Edenton Aces. And my good friend Latasha Lee graduated from there. And former Anson County assistant superintendent Maxter Allen used to be the principal out there. God rest Master Allen soul. He just died maybe within the last 12 months. So there are enough ties there. We got the tie with Paul Harder, who's a former Anson assistant and former Raiders head coach, and we have the ties with the late great Dr. Maxter Allen. So I'm going to pick the Edenton Holmes Aces.
All right. And then we got the 2 seed Northeastern versus North Johnston.
I'm going with Northeastern.
Yeah.
Yeah, Northeastern. All right. The West of the 2A.
The Wild Wild West is getting
Wild
me
Wild
that
West.
time.
Of the 2A, the Wild Wild West. Got the number 1 seed Reedsville versus number 32 Madison.
That's a cross-county battle. I'm going Reedsville. But Madison and Reedsville are both in Rockingham County. Amazing that 2 teams about 10 miles apart get to open up in the first round. And Madison, they got a free trip to the playoffs, and they're gonna turn around, and go back home and be home until next August. So I'm going with the Reedsville Rams.
Yeah, Reedsville here. We got number 16 West Stokes versus number 17 Southwestern Randolph.
I'm just gonna say Southwest Randolph, but I really don't know.
I don't know. Honestly.
No, you got number 8 Brevard versus number 25 Trinity.
Say that again.
Brevard versus Trinity.
Brevard, former head coach of Anson County and former Richmond County head coach Ed Emery used to coach Brevard back in the day. So I'm just going to pick Brevard just because the Ed Emery connection for the former Anson and Richmond head coach.
We got number 9 North Stanley versus number 24 T.W. Andrews.
T. Wingate Andrews out of High Point, the Red Raiders. I got a lot of family that went to T. Wingate Andrews, and I don't think North Stanley's that good. I think Anson gave him a gift at the beginning of the season. I think North Stanley's going home with that, and now they got time to work on that condemned stadium.
I think North Stanley gets the first one. I don't know how much farther after that, but I think they get the first one.
I'm gonna go because they've known them been a good team back in the day.
I think T. Wingate Andrews wins that game. Shout out to High Point 336 Brentwood Street. High Point, stand up.
We got number 5 Monroe versus number 28 Bandies.
Monroe beats Bandies. Famous alumni from Bandies. Former WWE Universal Champion Braun Strowman, real name Adam Scherr, played football for Bandies. But Monroe Redhawks, formerly known as Rebels, will kick their you-know-whats.
Agreed. We got West Lincoln versus Chase.
Boys out of Forest City. Shout out to my good friend Carlton Robinson, my college buddy who went to Chase. I don't know, but I'm just going to pick Chase. Out of Forest City, North Carolina.
We got number 13 Burns versus Pine Lake Prep.
Burns.
Because school at Pine Lake Prep, they probably didn't play anybody. They probably played the Little Sisters of
Your phone, you went to the Matrix.
All right, let me know when you Everybody gotta say what I have to say.
All right.
Am I back? Like talking normal?
It's getting there. It still got the matrix.
Hold on. You're late. What about now?
It's still the matrix.
Hold on. What about now?
Now you sound clear.
Yes.
What I said is Pine Lake Prep with a name like that, they probably played NC School of the Deaf NC School of the Deaf and the Little Sisters of the Poor to run the record up. And I think the Burns Bulldogs are gonna run the rough shot on.
All right. We got number 4, Bunker Hill versus East Rutherford.
I'm gonna go with Bunker Hill because I used to see them on Football Friday Night a lot when they used to come on TV.
I think East Rutherford get the upset, man.
No, okay. We got East Rutherford. We got Bunker
That's
Hill.
not in Airport City. That's in Rutherford and all that area.
We got number 3, Community School of Davidson versus number 30, Lexington.
I think the Community School of Davidson wins that game. They took Forest Hill down to the wire. They were a merger. Davidson Day, when Will Greer played, they merged. They're still separate schools, but their program merged with another private schools program and became one program to become the Community School of Davidson. They have a solid football team. They're well coached.
All right, we got number 14, East Surrey versus number 19, Providence Grove.
East Surrey.
That's where we went last year and got the head whooped out of us, ain't it?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna take East Surrey.
I'm taking East Surrey too. I'm so sorry about what happened last year.
We got Randleman versus West Stanley.
Randleman in a blowout.
Randleman by 5 18-wheelers.
Nah, but like 40 to 7 or something like that.
I got about I'll say 35-0.
Maybe that's fair.
We got number 11, Forest Hills versus number 22, Anson.
Going with the Bearcats of Anson County.
Anson all day. Yep. That's it.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm from Anson, because you know me, I call it like I see it. And if we were playing like we did when we were 0-3, I would tell you the Forest Hills run us out the stadium. But just a different Anson football team. I think the kids gonna be focused. We know they got a good day's worth of practice in today because Ralph ain't here, and that's why. We know they practice well. Practice a long time today, so I think they're gonna be ready.
Yeah, they can be ready to go. We got number 7, Shelby versus number 26, Mount Pleasant.
Shelby and Shelby handily.
It's Shelby by a lot.
I'm gonna go with Shelby too. This week.
He said this week. We got what we at? Okay. North Surrey versus Lincolnton.
What's the seed?
10 versus 23.
Going North Surrey.
Sure, why not? North
Surrey.
That's near Virginia. I know that much.
Yeah, you're right. You learn about this.
That's where Andy Griffith, he was from Mount Airy, which is in Surrey County.
Yep.
That's who taught me how to whistle.
We got number 15 Maiden versus number 18 East Gaston.
I'm going with the Maiden Blue Devils. I remember the late great Coach Tom Brown when he used to be on Football Friday Night. He would always look at the camera and say, "Delano, I love you, baby." So I'm going with the Maiden Blue Devils.
And we got number 2 Salisbury versus. Is this West Davidson or East Davidson? I can't really
one will have a W, the other will have an E.
I can't really see it. It's something blocking it. Okay, East Davidson. I see it now.
Okay, East Davidson is in Thomasville.
Salisbury.
It's all right, man. He got a lot of dog in him. It's all right. So I'm going to pick Salisbury, but before we go on Salisbury, one thing I want to say about Salisbury, for the NFL to punish the Houston, to send a cease and desist to the Houston Cougars, University of Houston, for wearing those Oiler-inspired jerseys. I'm about to say, let's be consistent. If you're going to do that, then why in the world have they not sent the cease and desist to Salisbury Hornets for wearing gear to look like the San Francisco 49ers?
It's true.
The Salisbury Hornets look just like the San Francisco 49ers in their gear. Maybe the NFL don't know about it. Somebody ain't snitched to Goodell about it, so they can do it. But nevertheless, I'm picking the Salisbury Hornets to win the game.
Yeah, I probably go Salisbury for this round.
Unless they get turned into some Salisbury steaks.
That sounds good right now.
I actually don't like Salisbury steaks. I like ribeyes, but still.
All right, this last division classification 1A.
Tarboro all the way.
Jared said the same thing,
Yeah,
brother.
I
I
mean,
say
you
Tarboro
do we
all the
really
way.
want to talk about that?
And speaking of
Tar-
Tarboro, who's the famous running back that played for Tarboro?
Todd Gurley.
Yes, sir.
Ty Gurley. But anyway, Tarboro #1 versus first round. Nobody. They gotta buy.
They got to buy or something. They get buys or something.
Yeah, one day
They
you
got
get
plenty of
five.
buys in this paper.
So that's to keep some of the 1-9 teams from getting in and stuff. Because only
Man,
one A has that problem because they don't have enough teams. They only got like 70 something teams in their classification. So
but the
64
thing
teams
is,
make it, you got a lot of 1-9s making it. Whereas like 3A, you got 140 teams, so you don't really have that problem.
Yeah.
thing is, all the buys in the East. They ain't none in the West.
Yeah, they don't have buys in the West.
Yeah,
That's
ain't none in
but
the
you
West.
gotta
It's
realize the
all
1A
East.
schools in the East are like in the Outer Banks and in scarcely populated areas. Some of them only have 200 and 300 kids. So that's why, and you only got like 70 something 1A schools. So that's why if you let 64 teams make it out of 76 schools, that means basically everybody makes it, and a bunch of 1-9 and 0-10 teams will get in. You can't have that. So I respect what they're doing to keep that from happening. What they ought to do with 1A is do the old school 16 in the East, 16 in the West, call it a day. That's what they should do. But nevertheless, whatever. So Tarboro versus a bye.
The work. Tarboro beats everybody in the East. It's
Well, there's nothing in 1A, but I'll go out on a limb and say that they might meet Albemarle in the championship game.
well, I'll just do the West because that's all I can do really because it's a lot of buys. So
All right, let's go to the West.
we'll go through the West. #1, Robbinsville versus number 32, Thomas Jefferson.
Robinsonville.
I'm gonna go Robbinsville. I know someone. I know of someone who played for Thomas Jefferson, but I gotta be unbiased. I'm going with whoever you just said. The other team was Thomas Robbinsville.
Robbinsville. We got number 16, Mountain Island Charter versus 17, Allegheny.
Mountain Island Charter has good. Coach Washington, and Mountain Island Charter, Mountain Island guys are really good. I remember they beat Dancing a couple years last year, 2 years ago. Coach Robert Washington has a good squad.
We got number 8, Bessemer City versus number 25, South Stanley.
I love Coach Tereshenko, man. I think he's a great guy, and I think he has that program headed in the right direction, as Anthony said. But I'm going with whoever South Stanley's playing, or Bessemer City, the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
Number 9, Swain County versus Avery County.
Swain.
I know Avery County never has school. Every time it gets cold or whatever, they have a 2-hour delay of school gets canceled, so they can't get much work in. So I'm going with Swain County.
We got number 5, Mountain Heritage versus number 28, Carver.
Carver used to be a 3A powerhouse back in the day, like 10 years ago, but now they're a 1A school. But I'm going to go with Mountain Heritage because Mountain Heritage, the name of that town in Haywood County is named Burnsville, and we have a Burnsville community in Madison County. So since they're in Burnsville, North Carolina, the actual municipality, as a person who grew up maybe 20 minutes from the Burnsville community of Madison County, from one nearby Burnsville person to another, I'm going to pick Mountain Heritage. To people who know the Burnsville.
Yeah, it sounds good. I'll take them too. Cause I don't know.
Yeah, that's close enough to home for me. We got number 12, Starmount versus number 21, Cherokee.
I'm gonna Starmount. They got the helmets of the LA Rams, but the Ram helmet was like orange. So I'm gonna go with Starmount. That's in Boonville, North Carolina.
All right. We got number 13.
Huh?
Well,
no, I was just saying. Now I see why Carver tried to win a open enrollment in Forsyth County. Is what killed Carver. And Jared would know he's the principal, so he has all that DPI information.
Okay. We got number 13, Drone versus Corvin Community.
Drone.
The school named something community. They must only got about 25 kids, so I'm going with Drone.
Yeah, Drone.
I remember Ruben Jones, the running back, played the Broncos.
We got number 4, North Rowan versus number 29, Fike. No,
North
not
Rowan.
Fike. Wait a minute, Elkin. I'm sorry.
How did you get Elkin and Fike mixed up? I mean, well, never mind. But I'm going with
They had a F up here.
I'm going with North Rowan. They beat Anson this year, so I'm going with North Rowan. They went 8-2, so I'm going with North Rowan.
We got number 3 Eastern Randolph versus number 30 Cherryville.
I'm going to go Eastern Randolph. Man, Eastern Randolph won a 3 AA championship like in 2008, 2007. I don't know, but they really dropped off in the student population. Maybe Jared knows the answer to that too, but I'm still picking Eastern Randolph.
We got number 14 Hayesville versus number 19 Christ the King.
You know what? We scrimmaged with Christ the King earlier in the season, and as a devout Christian, I'm going with Christ the King.
Yeah, Christ the King.
Sounds good, right?
We got number 6 Almar Bulldogs versus number 27 South Davidson.
I'm going with Albemarle. South Davidson has nothing. They used to be conference rivals in the Yakima Valley years ago, but I'm going with Albemarle in a blowout. Actually,
I'm going with Almar. I hope they do win because I would love to see the next round happen. We got number 11 Thomasville versus number 22 Andrews.
I'm going with Thomasville, and now I take back what I said about Albemarle going to state championship. I forgot about Thomasville.
But it'd be a good game, though.
I think Albemarle wins the Friday, and they're right up their old rival, and come back to Albemarle US basketball.
And Thomasville got to come to Albemarle, so.
Yeah, my bad. Well, I mean, so they get to stay home. They get to leave from the field and go to the house.
Yeah. We got Bishop McGuinness versus South Stokes.
Bishop McGuinness usually have decent teams. I'm going with Bishop McGuinness. And that sounds like they love the Lord, too, because they got a bishop in there, so I'm going with them.
Yep, going with them, too, then.
I guess I got to go with Guinness because I like Guinness. We got number 10 Murphy versus Polk County.
Polk County's had decent teams in the past. I ride through Polk County when I'm heading to Tennessee mountains and when I'm heading to the mountains in general. That's in Columbus, North Carolina. I'm going with the Polk County, whatever they are.
All right.
Polk County, Polk Scouts.
I'm gonna go with Polk County because I guess it's Polk County. We got a Polk.
Yeah, man. That's where you first start seeing mountains when you're going down 74.
Oh yeah, that's when it get cold here.
Yeah, like Columbus, your ears start popping when you get in Polk County. That's when I get the first ear pop. When I see the Columbus, North Carolina side.
Number 15 Mitchell versus East Wilkes.
Mitchell.
I'm just going Mitch. Mitchell.
Yeah, I'm going with Mitch because I like pagan food.
And my mom had a first cousin named Mitchell, and RIP the cousin Mitch. So I'm going Mitchell.
And we got number 2 Mount Airy versus number 31 Union Academy.
That's why they won a playoffs. Before we get into that, that's why they need to reduce that 1A playoff. They need to just do 16 in the East, 16 in the West. I know good and darn well the Union Academy didn't win no more than 2 or 3 games.
Well, they in the playoffs.
Well,
Mount Airy.
Mount Airy, I think that's who's playing Tarboro for the state championship.
Yep. That might be the case.
I agree.
Yeah, because Tarboro gonna be well rested.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gonna be well rested.
Tarboro might be rested.
Like they gotta play nobody for the next 2 rounds almost. Unless
Tarboro might be rested, but not playing enough.
Because technically, if one of these teams don't come, they'll make it to the third round.
The North Carolina Athletic Association should be ashamed of itself that a team like Union Academy is sitting there playing in the playoff game. That's shameful.
He's gassing. Salisbury, I agree. He's an MA out of the West.
Yeah, Mount Airy.
Yeah.
Now that's Andy Griffith's hometown, actually.
Well, I think Mount Airy won it all last year anyway.
I have no idea. I ain't gonna lie to you.
They did. That was the year Tarboro lost.
Last year. Yeah. But like I said, 1A is 1A, and it'll be 1A because it's always gonna be 1A, and
Well, no, one nigga ain't got no kid. They ain't got no students. They only got 400 or 500 students. That's why you 1A. But
the East is just like, man, if we can play in the East, you ain't gotta play nobody.
Literally,
get out.
You're like NFL playoffs. The first round bye.
Tarboro should be ashamed of themselves. They win these state championships like that.
Why should they be ashamed? They didn't make the rules.
You're right, but they should be ashamed.
They know they're going out there playing who's in front of them. They don't make the rules. They just show them play.
Man, it's child abuse over there.
You ain't lying.
That's not their fault. If you don't like what they're doing, go out there and beat them.
Hey man, I would, but I can't.
I remember Independence beating people 70. I remember Albemarle used to beat people 80-0. Everybody used to get mad. That bad sportsman shit. I said, if you don't like it, you got 11 guys out there. Go out there and do something about it. If not, then shut up and take your L.
Well, they get to play the bye week team, so.
I'm about to say, whoever they play got 11 guys out there just like they do. You either go out there and do something about it, or you shut your mouth.
Well, it's just fair to say that let's see how many buys on the East. I'm just gonna count the buys. And I ain't gonna worry about the teams. I'm just gonna count the buys.
And the only reason we're doing this 1A thing is just to kill time.
2, 3, 4, 5. 5 buys in the 1A in the East.
Because they don't have any schools. They're scarcely populated. You out there rowing Oak Island, chilling with one cheesy and Virginia Dare and all them. Ain't nobody out there.
I got.
And if you must be a history teacher, Anthony.
No.
Oh, never mind. If Ralph was on here, he would have caught that reference immediately because he's a history teacher. But
they out there. Hey, look! Shout out to Tarboro, man. Win them state championships while you can. Win them all. They probably got about 20 right now. I'm pretty sure they got a lot.
I don't know about that. The Albemarle used to dominate 1A back when they were good.
They got at least 7, I know.
Huh?
They got at least 7, I know.
They might. I'll take your word for it.
Well, they didn't win it last year, so.
That's because you have to play the game.
Yeah, you got to play the game. They won.
And not only do you have to play the game, what did Herman Edwards say? You play to do what? You play to win the game.
You play to win the game.
So whoever they play against is playing to win the game. Not to keep it close, not to represent themselves well, but to win. And that's what I wanted to see you to do. Like you did Friday, you just came up a little short. You got a rematch. Play to win. Don't play to represent well. Don't play to keep it close. Don't play to make us proud. I'm about to say, I want to win. And I want to win too.
I want to win too.
We're capable of winning that game. I don't want to fight hard but come up short. I don't we fought our tails off. No, I want to win.
This is childish stuff. If we don't play to win, you gotta play to win. This is childish.
11 on 11 with Tarboro back when Independence was playing, back when Albemarle was dominant, it was 11 on 11. If your 11 can't stop their 11, oh well, I hate it. You can forfeit.
That's pretty much the playoff in the nutshell. Good luck to everybody out there.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, hope everybody get a chance to get past Thanksgiving, but that can't happen.
Well, everybody can't because whoever loses. So
yeah.
And people don't realize how hard it is to get the Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
right.
Well, I always say each game is its own entity, man. So sometimes just getting out of whatever game you got that's in front of you can be a challenge, depending on what transpires. So I mean, that's why I say survive and advance. The first thing you got to do is survive.
Yeah, you're right.
And then advance. At this point, sometimes a game that you expect to win in a blowout might turn out to be closer than you thought it was going to be. But at that point, you can't worry about that. Still, at that point, you got to take the hand you're dealt, overcome the adversity, and find a way to win the ball game. Nobody's going to hand anything to anybody at this point. At this point, you separate the boys from the men. The boys are at home, and the men are still playing. And it's go time. And like I said, if you want something that's coveted, anything that's coveted, you're gonna have to fight to get it, and I mean figuratively fight, Frank. But these fools out here these days figuratively fight. You have to figuratively fight to get it, because the thing is, if it's coveted, that means it's not easy to attain. Because that means that multiple people want it, and multiple people are going to give it their all to get it. So at that point, your will to do and your attention to detail. I think the most overlooked part is attention to detail, the little things. The little things like getting lined up properly. The little things like not letting the play clock expire. The little things like not getting a false start, holding your water. The little things like not jumping off sides on a 3rd and 2. Those little things, those little things, lots of times the difference between wins and losses. And the little things like that, the attention to detail, are lots of times in close games to be what determines it.
I agree. I'll say this though. I like my chance. I like answer chances. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this one time only. We are very good on the road.
Yes, we are.
Very good on the road. So don't be surprised if we come in some places and win at your house. Don't be
Take
surprised.
the first one first.
What's going on? What's going on, Uno? Yeah, but don't be surprised.
Uno 848. Hey man, you from Louisville?
Yeah.
I figure with 848.
Hey, don't be surprised. That's why I'm gonna leave it at. I'm gonna leave it at that because I've seen some impressive stuff on the road.
I say let's focus on. We got Forest Hill this Friday. That's where the focus needs to be. The point I want to emphasize again is attention to detail. Have attention to detail. Play a clean football game, and you'll have a chance.
Every time.
Every time. Just come out there and continue the pounding that you were giving them Friday night.
Protect the football. Play a clean game. Football.
Eliminate the mental errors. Just play.
We didn't really get that many penalties on Friday. Actually, I thought the officials called an excellent game, except that where they misspotted the ball, where it should have been a turnover on downs, but they gave them a first down anyway. But we're not worried about it. That's all in the past.
Yeah, that's the regular season. We're in postseason now. It's a new season.
As one hey, you got to treat every game like your last because it just might very well be.
Yeah, it might be 0-0. 1-0 every week from now on out.
And for those of you guys who are wondering, just to let you know that this wasn't an overpromise underdeliver thing. The original plan was to have Coach Jackson with us. Of course, Coach Jackson's a busy man right now. The team was still practicing, and I'm never going to be critical of a man that's trying to bring excellence out of his club. I just talked about attention to detail, and I can imagine that the attention to detail is what he was working on, which is why they were still practicing it. They were just getting out of practice at the time we started the show. So I'd much rather him be focusing on the priority that's at hand than to come here and talk to us. So. With that, I'm not upset at all. I'm glad that he's getting the boys ready, and I look forward to seeing what the boys come out with on Friday.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And Coach Harris, always a pleasure to have you too, man. You always bring insight to the game. I'll always love hearing your perspective, especially coming from a program that's been successful over the last few years, which you've been a part of. So I love hearing that perspective and hearing the perspective of what goes on at another program that's been successful. So it's always good to bring that insight to us.
Man, I'm glad y'all have me. I tell you, I have fun whenever we come when we come over here and talk a little football. So anytime, man, y'all just let me know I'm on here.
All right, no doubt.
We got you, man. But we're finna shut the party down. I'm glad all the people that popped in tonight popped in. Again, Coach Jackson is a busy man, so don't hold nothing over his head because he didn't do nothing wrong. He getting his team ready, and I can totally understand that. So we appreciate him for even just saying he would do it for us. That's all that matters with that too. So
y'all just make sure that y'all checking y'all phones at halftime. Cause I'm shooting somebody a message to see what that score is.
Oh man, you can reach out me anytime, bro. I mean, you can hit me in my messenger.
Hit him. I might be at the. I ain't gonna probably be at the game Friday. May not be because I got a tournament to host coming up Friday night, 8:00. We got the Final Four, the sneaker battle. So that would be jumping off at 8. But I will be watching on TV. So
yeah, and Mr. Gabriel, man, I appreciate the kind words you just dropped to us, man. I know you're a Raider and a Yellow Jacket, but like I said, your late father was a Bearcat. So at the end of the day, you still got Bearcat in your bloodline, and it's always love and respect from here.
Oh yeah, I appreciate you for coming by, man. We don't. It's not just answering. Like I said, we support everybody that supports us. I mean, we try to do for the whole community anyway. You know, people that are hometown natives, or or just interested in talking football or sports. So that's what it's all about. It's not about no kind of love laws. We show love over here. So feel free to come over anytime, man. We talk about everything, sports or whatever, man. You're more than welcome.
And even if you want to talk about the state of education in North Carolina school system, Jared being a principal, Anthony having principal's license, whatever. Maybe one day we can have both of them on a forum where we talk about the actual state of education in the North Carolina public school system type thing, and kind of hear the perspective of actual men who are in the trenches with our students day in and day
out. I'd like to do that. If you're down for it, we can make that happen.
Just let me know.
I got you. Mr. Gatewood, you as well. You let me know if you want to make that happen, or let Ty know. We'll put it together.
No doubt.
But we about to get up out of here, man. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Appreciate Coach Harris for hanging out tonight with us on this Wednesday night. I wish it was Thursday because I'm ready for football.
Yeah, who you telling? I'm ready to get in.
So we appreciate it, man. And all y'all that came through, shout out to y'all. Y'all hit that like button, man, because we trying to get up in this algorithm. I'm trying to be on somebody's front page on YouTube. But anyway, we up out of here. We'll catch y'all next time.
All right.
Peace.
Take it easy.
All right.
Mhm.
Stream.